Here I am at Peony's gallery, and I'm also going to tell you about my next class. The next class is going to be one on cutting with paper. When I taught children, this was one of their favorite classes, and one night when I was getting ready for open house, I wanted a border around my Symmetry class projects that I was showing. So I found on the piano was a piece of paper like this, and I thought, oh, you know, pretty soon the parents are going to be here. I think I'll make a quick border to go around my bulletin board. So I started thinking, symmetry, that's what I'll do the border on. I thought symmetry, and I teach this to children, is, you know, the same on one side, is the same on the other. So I got my scissors out. I think with scissors. I don't think with the pencil. So I thought, okay, let's see, symmetry. What will I do? And I thought, you know, I'll do a half an apple to go with education. And then I will put, maybe a triangle down here. I'll do a pentagon. So what I'll do is I'll do a pentagon, because that'll tie in with symmetry. So, not a pentagon, a hexagon. So then when I did a half an apple and a whole pentagon. So when I open these up, let me show you. So when I open it up, I end up with a bunch of apples and a bunch of pentagons. There, so that's my border for the symmetry. Well, then I thought, you know what? I taught my children symmetry, and their pictures will go on the board. So I thought I'm going to add some other types of things later as far as symmetry lessons. So what I've done is I did these particular pictures, which show all different kinds of symmetry. And I'm going to demonstrate one for you now. Now, the next class I'm going to do is changing the title. It's not going to be child and parent art, bonding. And it's going to be from kids to senior citizens. So that'll start the second week or second Saturday in April. So that is what you're going to be seeing today, is a sample of what we will be doing that day. So let me get started. First of all, we need paper, and we need small pieces, because we're going to do symmetry, and I would talk to the children about symmetry, but this class that I'm going to do, kids through senior citizens, will encompass all ages. So I will now show you, and I won't be talking math terms like I would when I'm speaking to children, but I will start with, you need a piece of paper like this, and you will need smaller pieces. And out of this, you will cut a part of a square. Now, before you glue this down, you're going to just set it on the paper, and we'll set it on like this. Now, here's the trick. You turn that piece over. But, well, maybe I'll leave it like that this time, but we can go further. Now, I'm going to set another piece down here, and this one I'm going to cut an oval, or half an oval. But when I open it, I will have a complete oval. Now that will be fine, but I am going to take it a step further. I'm going to take this up first. Notice I keep everything on my paper, and because once I put them all in a pile, I wouldn't be able to put it back together like a puzzle. So now I'm going to cut another inside of this one, and I'm going to then turn this on the other side. So notice that I'm going back and forth, back and forth. Now on this one, I think I'll do the same. What I'm going to do is I will cut a piece out of the triangle, and I will put that in there. Now I have my finished product, and it's as easy as that. You could get it as complex as you would like. You can keep cutting and taking and out of, like for this example, I might cut in this one, and I might cut another triangle in the triangle. And again, I will turn that like this. Like I said, you can go on and on depending on your age. A small child might just do one cut. An adult would do many, many cuts. And depending on your art ability, you can do what you want depending on your art ability. Now, I won't take time to glue this all together because I think you get the idea. Now, another thing, oh, by the way, when I talked about the border and how then I took the border and I sent it to a publisher, and I was able to write my first book, which was Instant Borders, which is filled with different borders throughout the year. That one took hold, and they asked me to do a second, which was basic borders, and then a third, which was instant bulletin boards. Now I'm going to tell you about another art project, which is called Pull Apart. On Pull Apart, I'll just take and do a quick visit with that, but you will take a piece of paper, and in this case, I'll take a square, and with the square, I will pull this apart. And I would say, you know what? My square is going to turn into a rectangle because the square has 4 equal sides, but a rectangle is longer and it's thinner on one side than it is on the other. So here's the pull apart. And with the pull apart, it's exactly what it says. We pull it apart. And I'm adding some extra lines in this. So I now have my square, which is now a rectangle, and then that is called a pull apart. Now I could add to this. I could do it, say a circle on this, pull it apart. But I think you get the idea. Now, I can't wait to see in 2 weeks what each of the students will create, because actually the kids do better work than I do. And it's amazing how, I don't care if you're 6 years old or if you're 86, you can do this. So let me very quickly tell you about this. I think it's self-explanatory, but in doing fullback, you can have a theme in mind. In this case, African masks. Here, spring flowers. And on the pull apart here, I've cut different squares and just bring one on top of the other. And this is a very simple one and I've cut the circles on the fold so I don't have to dig my scissors in the middle to get the center part taken out. Also, this is cut and paste, but I've added, it's cut and paste, but I've added acrylic markers to it. So anyway, that's it. Fun project. Kids loved it, and I think you will too. Make it to the class.